Second year in a row, all eyes turned to the city's police department, demanding answers. Chief of Police Edwin Figueroa once compared his city to Iraq's battle-scarred Fallujah.
Isn't it a fact that you arrest the same people just like we fight the same insurgents in Iraq?
Exactly. Recidivism rate, we're at about 40%. Recidivism meaning the individuals that go to jail, come back out, and commit the same crimes.
We arrest 12,000 people a year. This is a 9-square-mile city in which there are approximately 80,000 people in. So over a course of 5 years, we theoretically arrest the entire population of the city.
I met Lieutenant Scott Thompson, head of the Camden Narcotics Unit, on one of the city's most dangerous corners.
When we run our comm stats through our computer, which shows us the most violent areas in the cities, and you punch in shootings and homicides and drug trafficking, this place glows like a Christmas tree.
Why don't you put a big station or permanent station right here? Why don't you have a cop on this corner?
This corner is a representation of about 150 corners in the city that are like this. We just don't have enough resources.
In the embarrassing wake of the first most dangerous city ranking, back in 2004, Camden got more help from the state police and federal marshals. Crime decreased by 23% this year, and things seem to be getting better. And then, 2 days after 3 boys went missing in Camden's Kramer Hill neighborhood, their bodies were found in the trunk of a car, parked right in the yard where the boys were last seen. A spot officers walked by dozens of times, but never thought to check.
Who's responsible for the deaths of the kids, though?
Well, you know,
Does the department have any responsibility?
like I've said before, you know, the children were in the trunk. We didn't look in the trunk. We looked around the car, inside the car. We failed, we missed looking inside the trunk.
Camden's problems are not new. It's been among the top 10 most dangerous cities for 10 years before making it to number 1. But why is there so much crime? The short answer is drugs.
White shirt, dark colored jeans.
Lieutenant Thompson and his narcotics team are executing an operation called a Buy Bust, targeting the drug dealers of Camden.
Put your hands behind your back. I got it. We're at a Mexican restaurant.
Night after night, the narcotics force sends in undercover officers to buy from the dealers. The team members position themselves nearby and listen as the undercover describes the suspect.
Hispanic male, white shirt, black shorts.
Once the buy is made, they give the signal to move in.
Deal's done, move in. Deal's done, move in.
But these dealers are as organized as the police. Their drugs come with brand names, their guns bigger than the cops, and they even hire security.
Nextel's going off, Nextel's going off.
What's that? The lookouts. They have lookouts posted along here with Nextels that are letting them know that we're coming.
They're running.
Here he goes.
He's running towards you.
Camden PD made nearly 11,000 arrests last year, but that hardly put a dent in this thriving business.
Camden has approximately about $150 million a year black market in narcotics. This is our IBM. This is our Microsoft. You're fooling yourself if you don't believe that this is part of the economy in this city.
An economy fueled by demand. This surveillance video captures a Camden heroin set at 6 in the morning. The dealer on the bike opens for business. And within 5 minutes, he sells to more than 20 people.
We know that the deck is stacked against us in the first place.
To stem the tremendous demand for drugs, police also target the buyers.
What you want, 5? Yeah, let me get the money.
Wait a minute, is it a knockout?
Knockout?
Yeah.
Just knockout? All right, go ahead.
In operations called reversals, undercover agents pose as dealers.
He say he got a weapon in the car.
Over the next 2 hours, a steady stream of buyers pull up, make a purchase, then find themselves in handcuffs. The majority of them are white kids from the suburbs.
When we run reversal operations, we get just as many people from the suburbs as we do from the city in here buying.
Thompson considers reversals to be the most dangerous operation they run.
Shut the car off. Turn it off. Turn it off.
Despite the risk, these cops hit the street every night.
We're fighting a losing battle each day.
I'm not kidding.
We're outmoneyed, we're outgunned, and we're outmanned.
Get down. Get down. Right now. Get down.
At least for tonight, they get their man.
We got him.
Camden wasn't always this way. In the 40s and 50s, it was an industrial center where they made everything from warships to radios to Campbell's soup. But all those manufacturing jobs are gone now, leaving once vibrant neighborhoods to slowly sink into the mess they're in today. Nobody realistically expects Camden to get back to those glory days, but some good people are working hard to get the city back on its feet. We'll hear from them later. But first, coming up, families crushed by crime in America's most dangerous city.
He just squeezed my hand and said, "Oh, Mom." And when I looked, he was gone.
One woman's mission to help them heal, and the toll that the streets of Camden take on the children. Welcome back, everybody. In Camden, violence is a harsh and unavoidable fact of life that has touched virtually every family on every block.
I took my daughter upstairs to lay her down in bed, and all of a sudden I heard gunshots. Boom, 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 boom.
In October 2004, Olga Gonzalez's 12-year-old son Pedro was gunned down on the steps of his own home, robbed for only a broken $20 radio.
My son was on the floor, face down. I flipped him over, and when I lifted up his shirt, I saw the hole on his chest. And I was applying pressure on it. And he just squeezed my hand and said, "Oh, Mom." And when I looked, he was gone.
Every corner there's a story of somebody's either murder or some violent act that has taken place there.
For this Catholic nun, death has become her life's work.
Every time I hear somebody was shot or somebody was murdered, you know, I'm surprised. I haven't gotten numb to it.
In this city where the murder rate is 10 times the national average, Sister Helen Cole has a daunting mission, consoling the families who've lost loved ones to violence.
Hola. Oh, you were just sure.
Like the Espinal family, live in her North Camden neighborhood. Miguel Espinal moved from the Dominican Republic to give his 4 children a better life, only to have his cut short.
That's the spot where my dad died.
A cross now hangs where Miguel was shot and killed in a robbery at the family-owned grocery store. Miguel's oldest daughter, Milka.
My mom ran over to my dad, sat him on the chair, and they called the cops. He said in Spanish, "Thank you for everything you've done for me."
2 years later, daughter Nancy is still raw with pain.
We have lived here for a long, long time. We thought nothing could hurt us. We knew everyone. We knew everything. And we didn't hurt anyone. How could somebody out of any sense of compassion come and hurt someone that didn't hurt anyone?
I tell people, you will ache until you go to the grave yourself. That I can't take this ache away, you know? But what I will help you do is to accept the ache and to live with the ache. Because it's never going away.
Sister Helen's mission began in 1995. She had just opened this family services center when 13-year-old Shailene vanished, just 1 block away. Shailene's mother, Lourdes.
She said, "I promise, I'm only going to borrow the bike for 5 minutes. I'm only going around the corner. I'll be back." And that was the last time. That was the last time anybody saw her.
Shailene's raped and murdered body was found behind a nearby school. That day, Sister Helen knocked on Lourdes' door and pledged to support and guide her through the grief, concerned for her own children's safety. And after watching her son die in her arms, Olga has made her decision.
Are you leaving Camden because of the other children?
I think we just need to move to cure our souls and maybe to relieve a little bit of the nightmare that we live through in this house, you know.
A lady asked me if I wanted to get into the business, which is prostituting. And she said I had a pretty face. And a guy came up to me and asked me if I want to be a runner. And I said no. And he said, "Why?" And you can make fast money.
Criminals recruiting on the streets have instilled fear in kids like Ray Coriano and Linda Thatch.
Tell me what scares you about this town.
It's just the sense that every day something might happen to you.
Pass that ball. Come on now. We're going to go 3 touches. Come on, Linda. Oh, good move, Linda. Oh!
Linda and Ray are part of a small youth program called Storm, run by Rutgers University professors Dan Hart and Bob Atkins.
Who won? Who won?
We did. 2-0.
A year ago, they're playing soccer, they're enjoying it, and about 25 yards away, a gunfight breaks out. A gunfight between not just one person, 3 armed people were shooting at each other. I was really shaken by it, but the kids were they were able to move on, and they even joke about it.
There's no way of staying away from it.
No way?
Every street you walk on is either a drug set or it's arguing.
Ray dreams of becoming a professional baseball player or a firefighter. But like many here, the deck is stacked against him.
And where's your pop?
He's locked up.
For what?
He went and did an armed robbery.
At 14, Ray has seen a lifetime of disappointment. Earlier this year, for example, police raided his home, and his oldest brother was arrested.
The adults in the city are just too few and stretched too thin.
Professor Hart, head of Rutgers Center for Children, points out that half the population of Camden is under the age of 24. A third of them are younger than 18.
Without these adults providing structure, you have kids kind of running the streets and dominating life in a community, and dominating in a way that's not good.
It's 1 o'clock now. Should be home. Your parents know you're out? Yes? No?
Yes.
They know you're out?
Yes. We have a youth crisis here.
Camden County Prosecutor Vincent Sarubi.
It's not 30-year-olds or 40-year-olds that are killing each other. The people that are killing each other are between the ages of 16 and 24.
Do you want to stay in Camden?
No.
And Ray, what about you? What do you want to do? You want to stay around here?
No.
Education is, of course, the traditional escape route from poverty. But Camden schools are stuck in their own mess, underfunded and plagued by violence. An estimated 50% of current high school freshmen will drop out before the end of their senior year. And more than half of the students who take the state proficiency exam will fail. Here's what's coming up. State and city governments combine forces to rebuild this ravaged community. Skeptics don't see how the plan will work, but a pair of leaders in charge of the revitalization are out to prove those critics wrong. Camden's troubles aren't new. For years, the state of New Jersey poured money in, but barely made a dent in the problems. Then in 2002, a state recovery plan allocated $175 million for redevelopment. But this time there were strings attached. Critics call it a state government takeover. Others say that it's the only way this city could survive. The nation's most dangerous city is also our second poorest. But you would never know that by looking at the waterfront. Over the years, the state, in trying to revive the waterfront and attract tourists, built an aquarium, a concert hall, a battleship museum, even a baseball stadium. And it is the safest part of the city. This is the rest of Camden. Inner city neighborhoods lined with broken down abandoned buildings. More than half of the state's redevelopment money went to the downtown businesses, colleges, hospitals, and waterfront attractions. They cater largely to out-of-towners and don't pay a dime in taxes. Instead, Camden gets just a fraction of the revenue from venues sitting on the city's most expensive real estate. It is a setup that outrages activist Carmen Rivera.
We have this fabulous waterfront, gorgeous, gorgeous waterfront. New Jersey State Aquarium, no taxes. Tweeter Center, no taxes. Okay? What are we doing? Why aren't these people paying taxes?
Many residents feel they've been left out of the process, which requires tearing down blocks of currently occupied homes.
There are 1,200 homes on the list. Over 5,000 people will be displaced.
And that displacement has enraged residents like Carmen.
They really believe that people from outside in suburbia are going to pay for $250,000 homes to live in the waterfront, and they're going to come and live in the #1 crime capital of the country. Would you come and live here? No.
The two people in charge of the Herculean task of turning the city around are the recently re-elected 80-year-old mayor, Gwendolyn Faison, and the state-appointed chief operating officer, Randy Primus.
Is it that serious that the state had to step in, Madam Mayor?
Yes, we're trying to rebuild a city with a $165 million budget. We collect less than, I think, $20 million in our property taxes. So you're trying to rebuild a city, and you don't have the resources.
I think initially, certainly the mayor was not happy with the bill and the fact that there was going to be someone installed. But she and I have worked together for many, many years. And it's not a situation, doesn't matter who's in charge, we get the job done.
Making Camden economically solvent is an enormous job, considering what they're up against.
The statistics indicate this is the most dangerous city in the United States of America.
Yes.
Well, you can manipulate statistics to say anything.
But Randy, you can't sugarcoat the data. I was out in the
Absolutely.
streets. It's a dangerous, dangerous place.
If you are between the ages of 18 and 35 and involved with drugs or illegal activity, it is a very dangerous place.
You have parts of town, though, Randy, where the drug sets are the government.
Yes. Yes. The pathologies of poverty have led to that. When folks dropped out of school and don't have the skills for the job, then, minimum wage salaries don't support families. And unfortunately, too many of our young people have found to be entrepreneurs in the drug trade. And it has had a devastating impact on this community.
In September, after a year-long independent public safety review, the police department underwent a structural reorganization to create more accountability and put more beat cops in the neighborhoods. Lately, though, it seems the public safety issue has taken a backseat to the raging debate over redevelopment.
It seems that the disconnect between your vision of the future and the vision of the people in the streets is that whatever is happening to benefit the city isn't benefiting them.
We are not chasing people away. We want them to become a part and stay a part of the community.
The reality is that many people believe that we are trying to rebuild Camden at the expense of the local residents. Our plan does call for revitalization and rehabilitation where we are bringing higher income folks in, but it also provides for all of the residents that are here.
Camden's recovery won't happen overnight. There are years of work ahead. But the true test of success may come in 2007. That's when Primus ends his term as COO and the state steps back. Then the training wheels on the city's future come off.
Where are we going to be in 2007, Madam Mayor?
Where are we going to be? Well, we're going to be so proud of the things that happened because we're moving on. We're just hitting a few difficult days, difficult time. All this should pass. Watch it. Come and see me in 2007.
Back in a flash with some closing thoughts. Here's what's coming up next time.
Geraldo at Large, Connecticut. Update on the dark and disturbing life of John Regan, the missing co-ed. Is there finally a crack in the case? And do police have evidence that could implicate him? Plus, Jeremy Jones. Is he a vicious serial killer or a serial liar pulling a cruel hoax? Don't miss the next Geraldo at Large.
I started working on this Camden special over the summer before Hurricane Katrina wiped out New Orleans. Now, since that terrible event, as you know, the President and Congress have promised to remake the Crescent City, even better than it was before. And while they're obviously sympathetic when that happened, the residents of cities like Detroit, Baltimore, and yes, Camden, New Jersey, asked, why not us? Our towns have also been ripped apart by hurricane poverty and tropical storm crime and unemployment. Where's FEMA for us? It's a good question, isn't it? Thank you very much for watching. See you next time.